Why is it that the moment you sit down to meditate, your mind suddenly becomes louder than ever? Thoughts you didn't even know existed start rushing in. Random memories, worries about the future, things you forgot to do, conversations from years ago. It all appears at once, and you sit there wondering, why can't I just stay focused? You try to control it, but the more you try, the more distracted you feel. Paramahansa Yogananda taught that this struggle is not a failure. It is the very beginning of true meditation, because for the first time, you are becoming aware of the restless nature of your mind. Most people believe that meditation means instantly becoming calm, peaceful, and focused. But that expectation itself creates frustration. When you sit down and your mind is not quiet, you feel like you are doing something wrong. But the truth is, your mind has always been this active. You are just noticing it now. Before meditation, your attention was constantly moving, so you never saw the chaos. But the moment you sit still, everything that was hidden begins to surface. Yogananda explained that the mind is like a lake. When the surface is disturbed, you cannot see clearly. And for most people, the lake is constantly moving, thoughts, emotions, reactions, all creating ripples. Meditation is the process of allowing that lake to become still. But stillness does not happen instantly. It happens gradually. One of the main reasons it is so hard to stay focused during meditation is because your mind has been trained for distraction. Every day, you are constantly switching your attention between your phone, your work, your conversations, your thoughts. This habit of constant stimulation makes it difficult for the mind to stay in one place. When you suddenly try to sit in silence, the mind resists. It is not used to stillness, it craves movement, so it creates thoughts to keep itself busy. This is not something you should fight, it is something you should understand. Yogananda taught that concentration is like a muscle. If you have not trained it, it will feel weak at first, but with practice, it becomes stronger. The key is not to expect perfection, but to remain consistent. Another reason meditation feels difficult is because of your emotional state. Unresolved emotions do not disappear, they stay in the subconscious mind. And when you sit quietly, without distractions, those emotions begin to rise. You may feel restlessness, anxiety, or even sadness during meditation. And because these feelings are uncomfortable, the mind tries to escape them by creating more thoughts. This is why many people feel like meditation is not working. It actually starts bringing awareness to what has been ignored. But this is where real transformation begins. Yogananda emphasized that meditation is not about escaping your thoughts, it is about understanding them. When you observe your thoughts without reacting, you begin to loosen their hold on you. Slowly, they lose their intensity. Another important factor is your approach. Many people try to force concentration. They sit down and think, I must focus, I must stop thinking. But this creates tension, and tension blocks stillness. Meditation is not about forcing the mind to be quiet. It is about allowing the mind to settle naturally. Just like muddy water becomes clear when left undisturbed, your mind also becomes clear when you stop interfering with it. Yogananda often guided his students to focus on something simple, like the breath. Not to control it, but to observe it. The gentle flow of inhalation and exhalation becomes an anchor. And every time the mind wanders, you gently bring it back. This is the practice. Not keeping the mind perfectly still, but bringing it back again and again. At first, you may have to bring it back 100 times, and that's okay. Each time you return, you are strengthening your awareness. Another reason people struggle with focus during meditation is impatience. They want quick results. They expect to feel peaceful immediately. But meditation is a gradual process. Yogananda compared it to learning any skill. You would not expect to master something in a few attempts. It requires time, effort, and patience. But unlike other skills, meditation works on a deeper level. Even when you feel like nothing is happening, something is changing within you. Your awareness is growing. Your mind is becoming more familiar with stillness. There is also the influence of the ego. The ego wants control. It wants to achieve something. So it turns meditation into a goal. I want to have a perfect session. I want to feel peaceful. And when that doesn't happen, it creates frustration. But meditation is not about achieving, it is about being. Yogananda taught that the moment you let go of trying to control the experience, something shifts. You become more relaxed, more open. And in that openness, stillness begins to arise naturally. Distractions are not your enemy. They are part of the process. Every thought that comes up is an opportunity to practice awareness. Instead of getting frustrated, you can simply notice it and return to your focus. Over time, this creates a new habit. Instead of being carried away by thoughts, you begin to observe them, and this changes your relationship with your mind. Another subtle reason meditation feels difficult is because it challenges your identity. You are used to identifying with your thoughts. I am thinking, so this is me. But in meditation, you begin to see that you are the observer of your thoughts. This can feel unfamiliar at first, but it is also liberating. Yogananda taught that your true nature is not the restless mind, it is the calm awareness behind it. And meditation is the process of reconnecting with that awareness. As you continue practicing, you may notice small moments of stillness, a few seconds where the mind becomes quiet. These moments may seem brief, but they are powerful. They show you what is possible. And slowly, those moments begin to grow. Your mind may still wander, but it becomes easier to bring it back. The intensity of thoughts reduces. The gaps between them increase. This is how focus develops, not through force, but through gentle, consistent practice. And as this process continues, something deeper begins to unfold within you. A sense of peace that is not dependent on external conditions, a clarity that is not disturbed by every thought, a quiet awareness that remains steady even when the mind is active. And the more you begin to recognize that quiet awareness, the less power distractions seem to have over you. You start to understand something very important, that the goal of meditation is not to eliminate thoughts, but to stop being controlled by them. Paramahansa Yogananda taught that the mind, by its nature, is restless. It is constantly moving, constantly thinking, constantly reacting. Expecting it to suddenly become silent is like expecting a stormy ocean to become still in a moment. It takes time, it takes patience, and most importantly, it takes the right understanding. One of the biggest shifts that helps you stay focused during meditation is changing your relationship with distraction. Instead of seeing distractions as interruptions, you begin to see them as reminders to return. Every time your mind wanders and you gently bring it back, you are strengthening your awareness. This is not failure. This is practice. Another deep reason it is hard to stay focused is because your energy is scattered. Throughout the day, your attention is pulled in many directions. Work, social media, conversations, worries, all of this disperses your mental energy. And when you sit down to meditate, that scattered energy does not instantly gather. Yogananda emphasized that focus is directly connected to where your energy flows. The more scattered your energy is, the more restless your mind will feel. But when you begin to live more consciously, even outside meditation, your ability to focus improves. Simple things like being fully present in what you are doing, reducing unnecessary distractions, and giving your attention to one task at a time start to train your mind. Meditation then becomes easier because you are not starting from chaos. Another important insight is that effort in meditation must be balanced. Too much effort creates tension. Too little effort creates dullness. You need a relaxed awareness, a state where you are attentive, but not forcing anything. Yogananda often described this as being calmly active and actively calm. Your mind is alert, but your body is relaxed. You are aware, but not strained. Breath plays a powerful role here. When your breath is fast and shallow, your mind becomes restless. When your breath slows down, your mind naturally begins to settle. That is why focusing on the breath is such a powerful technique. Not to control it aggressively, but to gently observe it. Feel the air entering and leaving your body. Let your attention rest there. And when it drifts, bring it back without frustration. Over time, this simple practice creates a deep sense of stability. Another challenge people face is expectation. They expect every meditation session to feel peaceful. But some days, your mind will be more active. Some days, it will be quieter. This fluctuation is natural. Yogananda taught that you should not judge your meditation based on how it feels in the moment. Even a session full of distractions is beneficial if you remain aware and continue the practice. Because the real effect of meditation is not always visible immediately. It shows in your daily life, in how you respond to situations, in how calm you remain under pressure, in how aware you become of your thoughts. This is where you begin to see the transformation. Another powerful realization comes when you stop identifying with every thought that arises. During meditation, you may notice thoughts that seem random, even strange, but they are simply impressions stored in your subconscious. You don't have to engage with them. You don't have to analyze them. Just observe and let them pass. Yogananda explained that the more you observe without reacting, the more these impressions lose their strength, and gradually, the mind becomes lighter. Silence begins to feel more natural. There is also a deeper layer of meditation that unfolds with time. At first, you are practicing concentration, bringing the mind back again and again. But as concentration deepens, it naturally leads to stillness. Moments where you are not trying, not focusing, not doing anything, just being. These moments may be brief in the beginning, but they are profound. Because in those moments, you are experiencing your true nature, peaceful, aware, and undisturbed. And the more you taste that state, the more your mind begins to cooperate. It no longer resists as much. It begins to settle more easily. Another key teaching of Yogananda is devotion. Meditation is not just a mental exercise, it is a connection. When you bring a feeling of love, sincerity, or devotion into your practice, it changes the quality of your attention. Instead of forcing focus, you are drawn into it. If you feel connected to something higher, God, truth, or simply a sense of inner peace, your mind naturally becomes more centered. Because now, meditation is not a task, it is an experience, and this makes it easier to stay present. Consistency is also essential. Meditation is not something you do once and master. It is a daily practice. Even a few minutes each day creates momentum. Yogananda emphasized that regular practice gradually transforms your inner state. You may not notice it day by day, but over time, the difference becomes clear. Your mind becomes calmer, your focus improves, your awareness deepens, and most importantly, you begin to feel a sense of inner stability that stays with you, even outside meditation. So if you struggle to stay focused, don't be discouraged. It does not mean you are doing it wrong. It means you are becoming aware. Stay patient, stay consistent, and most importantly, stay gentle with yourself. Because meditation is not about controlling the mind, it is about understanding it. And as you continue on this path, you will begin to realize that the peace you are searching for is not something you need to create. It is something that has always been within you, waiting for you to become still enough to notice it. If this message helped you see meditation in a new way, take a moment to apply it in your daily practice. And if you want more deep and practical spiritual guidance like this, make sure to subscribe to the channel and continue this journey toward clarity, focus, and inner peace.